Welcome back, Tankers of Blitz Universe. We have a full review for you again. It has been a long time coming, but this is a T-54 review. And aptly named, subtitled The Heat is On. This was also known as the Heat 54. We have been doing a series obviously on the Tier-9 mediums. The pattern is already on the Leopard PTA, the E50 and the T-54E1, the other American Tier-9 medium. But I was a bit hesitant to play the 54 because I didn't really consider myself a very good T-54 driver. But I have adapted my gameplay. I've put the lessons learned and relearned in the PTA and the pattern back into the gameplay on the 54, and this is a powerhouse at Tier 9. It has been nerfed obviously on its penetration, especially on the heat ammo, because that was through the roof. Really, it was really heavy. That penetration numbers, I think it was 330 or something. So you could penetrate Tier 9 heavies, Tier 10 heavies frontally, and that was a bit too much. It's still a very good vehicle. Your AP is a bit underwhelming at times, and heat is still very good, but you have excellent mobility, very good traverse numbers. That's the best bit, and you can see from this bounce already here you have a very strong frontal armor. We're going to do the full bells and whistle review straight through the gun mantlet of the pattern, the Ganna bounce. We're going to do a full bells and whistles review that will include some histories, stats and numbers, armor inspector views, and some small bits on one or two things that you should really get into your skill set if you want to play the T-54 successfully. Some ice games as well. This one is on Black Goldfield, obviously. There will be a game on, what is it, Port Bay, and we finish off with a mastery game on Mirage. So yeah, the T-54, you can see I'm being a bit careful here driving around, just taking my time to shoot. We have one kill already, we are one tank down, but we're slowly and gradually wearing down this E75. And well, it is a very strong vehicle, but like noted by Quello Musto, a fellow community contributor on EU, this tank can also make you feel very strong, where in reality you might not be as strong as you think you are. The biggest problem with this one is, or two of them at least, is the slightly less subpar penetration numbers on AP. It's obviously a Russian tank, so accuracy, well, it isn't really great, although you can do a few snapshots left and right. It hasn't got the accuracy of the 61 of the Sand of the Leopard PTA. We didn't penetrate the armor. That's what you will be hearing a lot if you shoot AP, and I have no idea why I selected AT over here. Probably wanted to do heat, but we switch back to AP. But like I said, the pen numbers on AP, that's going to be a problem. You can see it from this I6 frontally. You need heat on that one frontally. And one more thing is the gun depression, and that is a balancing factor. That's one thing for sure, but it's also a feature of the real tank itself because of the slightly smallish turret it has. It hasn't really got the room in the turret to depress the gun well enough. The breach mechanism would be in the way, and we'll be taking a look at that later if we get to the slightly history rambling bit. That said, we are still on 4 kills here, 4 kills done by the team, so that's Resenii material. And I was hoping to get that kill on the, what is it, 1400 hit points left Tier 8 tank. That's Panzer II. Yes, there it is. No, he was killed. I was hoping to get that kill, didn't get it. We do manage to take out this T-54 because we have been careful with our hit points, and we can shoot him in the back and only shoot his tracks, then dunk into him, and luckily we get a track shot here and we bounce him. And then a slight ram kill. Thank you very much for 5 kills. There is still a pattern left. We're on 5 and a Conqueror on our team. And I have no idea where the last pattern is. He is somewhere down below. Conqueror is going to talk to me in a second. capture the base, and he's going to say no, I think. Negative, but there it is. Hello pattern. We can bounce you, bump into you for 70 hit points. Adrenaline, shoot you once, bump you a little again, and the Conqueror finishes off. I would have wanted to get the Fool's Medal kill, really, even more so the Reseni. But that said, if you look at the statistics in the end, we do above 3k damage, 3.7 I think, 3.6, and the Conqueror plays a pretty solid game too at 3.2. And this is what you can do in the T-54. Very mobile vehicle, very good gun platform, very good DPM. But first up, some small history rambling. Because like in the game, the T-54 was a bit of a successor to the T-34-85. That is pretty much the ultimate version medium tank in World War II as far as the Russians were concerned. This is a T-34-85 in Berlin. The tank was originally armed with a 76mm gun, and it was re-armed with an 85mm gun, a bigger gun. And it was also fitted with a turret of the tank seen on the right here, the T-43. That tank offered no real improvement over the T-34, and the gun was bigger, 85mm, and it was test fitted with a 100mm gun. But that had a lot of problems. The turret ring wasn't sturdy enough due to the recoil. So onwards and upwards again, back to the drawing board. They made up the T-44. You can clearly see the family line there in design of the turret. This is a T-44 designed with a 100mm gun, but that tank wasn't really satisfactory either. But the gun was used, and it was mounted on a T-54, and you can see it here again, family lines, and this one has potential shot traps on the front and the back of the turret. That means if shells would deflect from the turret, would bounce, they might just dunk into the upper hull plate, and that would be a nasty surprise for the crew. So the turret was redesigned, more of a rounded shaped frying pan, a bit like the IS-3, and this is pretty much the classic T-54 which is in the game. So that's it for the history. I like to get in some history in some of the videos. I like the history behind the tanks and to get to know them, because that adds to me to the gaming experience really. And I hope you enjoy these small little bits because yeah, you can look at the tanks in the garage, but also at the history. Onwards and upwards, T-54 equipment and stuff. First up, if you go to the T-54, you can come from this tank, the T-54 lightweight, or you could go from the T-44. If you go through the lightweight route, you unlock the engine, the top engine already on the 54, as you can see, which is a good thing. You also unlock the first gun on the T-54, this one, a D10T Mod 1945. And if you go through the T-44 route, which I originally did because when I did this line, the Russian medium light tanks weren't in the game yet, then you unlock the LB1 gun. You can also unlock the engine, which is the stock engine on the T-54, which you can see here, and you can unlock, like I said, the LB1 gun. Here's an engine, there's another engine. And it might even be advisable to, yeah, I don't know, maybe to do both lines, both Tier 8 tanks, the lightweight and the T-44. Two choices of guns on the 54, the 100mm D-54, which you can see has better penetration values on AP and same on heat, but this one, the D10T2C, which leads to the WoT, has better stats in terms of dispersion, aiming time slightly worse. But the dispersion is better, rate of fire is better, and I prefer the rate of fire. That 80mm of AP penetration might help a bit, but nothing that a little heat can't sort out. Consumables, this is my really basic setup on mediums, a repair pack, multi-pack, and a adrenaline shot, and you could probably use the speed boost as well. Double rations, enhanced fuel, improved fuel. And this is what I run on most of the tanks, default really. Ammunition wise, 32 AP, 15 heat, 3 HE to finish off low health targets, and this is my setup in terms of equipment. I run vertical stabilizers, a rammer, as you can see over here, obviously a rammer because you want to up the rate of fire. Vertical stabilizers help a lot in getting the accuracy better, and coated optics, which I prefer due to active scouting. And you could maybe, instead of the optics, mount vents. I know a Monet 85 is all for vents because they improve all little bits of the vehicle, but it's pretty much personal style and personal preference, because I like to boost one part of the tank by 10% instead of all little bits by a few. Stats and numbers. You can see DPM in the tank, it's pretty solid. The pattern does it a little bit better in the E50, but the PTA is behind it, 61 cent is behind. Penetration values on AP, like I said, they aren't very good, worst in class really. And you can see it over here, rate of fire is better, but you have to compensate for the slightly lower alpha damage. This is the shell velocity, and that means, being the lowest in class, you're not really a sniper tank. Weapon handling stats are available here, much in the middle. Some of the tanks do it a lot better, some of the tanks are a bit worse in other bits, but this one is the key feature. It's the depression, and you can see all of the tanks do it better than the T-54. But there's one thing in which the T-54 excels in my opinion, because the basic mobility, it's again middle of the pack. E50 and Leopard PTA doing it a bit better, but you have a very good power to weight ratio, and this is the key thing in the T-54. The armor on the turret and the hull is very good. And you can see a lot of the tanks get red dots and red boxes, which means they are far worse than look, especially at the Type 61. And if you look at the stats, the T-54 E1, the American medium, has far better stats than the T-54. But that said, the T-54 is a larger player base, as you can see here, than all of the other tanks. And that's why maybe the overall stats are higher on other tanks, because it's played by a lot of players. Switching to the premium ammunitions on the tanks, you can see here the heat penetration. A lot of tanks do it better with the penetration, or with the alpha, but the penetration values you suddenly become a lot better. PTA and 61 have better penetration again on the heat, but the heat is what makes the tank Heat 54. Right, on an armor inspector, we're selecting a Type 61 shooting at us because it has the best penetration values on APCR, but you can see up front, lower glasses plate, that's easily panned, no problem. Frontal glazes, no panned, no problem. Sand will do it. T-54 will have a bit of a problem unless you're a bit higher. But the turret, just look at it, it's red, 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 red. If you come to the sides, it's going to be more open and easily panned, obviously, and the back, well, let's not talk about that. Luckily, you have large tracks on the left and right side which cover your hull a bit, and if you side scrape, you catch a few shots left and right. But if you manage to get your tank into a position where you can use the limited gun depression to full effect, and then turn the tank slightly, the turret slightly towards your left or right drive wheel, just about on the inside of the drive wheel, and wiggle around like this, you might create auto bounce areas, or at least make it harder for the enemy to shoot you. And look at this. Hide your lower glasses plate, hide your left and right drive wheel, and even the 61 will have problems penetrating you. And take a look at this. Oh, it's red everywhere. This is what you want to be showing to the enemy in a 54. And yeah, 0 penetration, 20% penetration chances, and the turret, well, left and right of the gun, that's weak spots, so a little wiggling might do between reloading, or maybe even not showing at all. But if you face front, it's an easier pan. Turret sides, yeah, not worth mentioning, because any gun on TN9 will go through. But again, put a tank in a position like this, aim over the inside of the drive wheel, only just about 20 degrees. That's the angle you will want to get, and you will bounce a lot of shots, especially against other T-54s with AP. It's just not a pen unless a few lucky shots go through the cupolas or through the side ports left and right of the gun. But there is a small downside to sitting like this and taking a look at the tank. Again, this is the 54 with heat. You can see easier pen, but still no guaranteed pens unless you hit the weak spots on the left and right side of the gun. Coming to the buts and exceptions and things you have to take into account while sitting like this, hull down and all, is the modules of the tank. T-54s are prone to being ammo wrecked. and because behind that right hand drive wheel, the frontal drive wheel on the right side, you can see there is a there's ammo racks, and a very big one too. So if possible, don't show your right side to big guns, especially in FV, Jagdpanzer E100, the Waffle, the big guns at tier 8 to 10, they will try to shoot you through this, and if they, you can see it's an easy shot. It will penetrate 9 out of 10 times. It might catch on the tracks, especially if they shoot heat, but if it goes through, big chance you will get at least ammo rack damage, or maybe even ammo wrecked, and you will be dead, like as shown here in 37 seconds. And well, 100mm guns like on the T-54 and the 105s on the Sand and the PTA, etc., they might lose a bit of penetration power because going through the drive wheel and going through the tracks. But the big guns on a Jagdpanzer E100, on a Death Star, on a Waffle tractor, they will have no problem ammo wrecking you all day long. That said, this is a lot of theory. Let's put it into practice. And let's take a look at 2 of the key things you really need to get into your gameplay while driving a T-54, and this is one of them. That's being on the low grounds. You don't have a lot of gun depression, but you have good thick frontal armor. And you can see I'm just slowly working this ridge line, only poking out just enough to get a shot in. And I'm not on the ridge. This could have been in the canal map guide really. And I've shown you on the canal map guides to be on top of there and use gun depression, but well, we haven't really got a gun depression. It's only -5 degrees, which isn't anything really. So we're slowly working this area here, and this T-34 has nowhere to go, shooting through the tracks, and we're going to harass and slightly troll this this T-54. Why is he sniping over there? I don't know. We can put a shot into him, but we will slightly roll on this AMX again. Hello, we're going to shoot you, and drive back, and he shoots. Whoopee! There we go, 1 into the ground. He then gets whacked by Penguin Killer in T-34, and we finish off. And another bit of trolling on this one, on the grill. 1 shot onto him, and you can see small undulating bits of the terrain. It's small rises, but I'm very slowly working the terrain here. You can see it slightly going up, and there's that red line which shows the lowest gun depression you can have. As I move up this very small incline, and we're going to take a look at it later again as I go up, and in sniper view, there it is again. Hello. No gun depression, can't put the gun down enough. But I'm slowly driving in over here, keeping my hull hidden behind that ridgeline, shooting the grill once, reloading, waiting for him to come again. Where is he? There he is. Yeah, I can shoot the top of his gun shield. He can't shoot me. I'm back again. He's desperate to get a shot in, dunks one into the ground. So here we go again. I'm out of HE, so I have to shoot AP here and get into adrenaline. And again, I can hide my hull between that berm, between that ridge line, and he has no chance on me. This was only part of a game, but I really wanted to show you this because if I would show the after game stats, we knocked out 1800 hit points on that grill, where he did 0 to us. And well, if you can take out a tier 10 tank destroyer with 1800 hit points, well, you have 1600 yourself. You're just doing a good job, really. And that's a little bit of skill. You have to get that into your skill sets if you want to drive a T-54 properly. And there's going to be some more hull down action on this game on Port Bay. We're top tier, obviously, as you can see, and there is a very nice spot on Port Bay which just seems to be made for a T-54. Just enough angles to get the gun down, just enough rises to protect your hull, really. And it's going to be here we go, turning right, and there it is, this little spot over here. Oh, this is lovely, this is lovely. Just take a look at that, the gun depression to the right side, the bush to cover my front. We can put a shot onto this T-34. You can see there was patch 3.6 still with 1400 hit points on the T-54, on the T-34. And I'm turning my tank again, you can see it. I'm bouncing, he bounces on us, but I'm all the time angling my tank with the frontal armor towards the biggest threat. Assessing the situation here, there's T-44 moving in, but there are other targets available. There is a red T-44 way in the open, way too aggressive here over there. And we can shoot him once, 99 left on him, and just not in time to reload, gets finished off by the IS-3. And in the meantime we can shoot this ISU. We get shot by the E-50 in a second. There it is. We do shoot the ISU. And this is again just rolling down into the riverbed slightly. Sorry. And then turning the tank, shooting over the shoulders, which is a way to enhance your gun depression. Not a small tip, you have to get into your skill set for a T-54. Shoot over the sides to enhance the gun depression. You can see it on that red line, and I'm going to show you again while I'm moving in on the T-54, on the T-34. Here's the gun line. I can't really shoot him, and as I look, you can see it as I crest that hill, shoot over the side. There's a bounce from the waffle tractor. I can shoot a T-34 again. I'm not giving them anything to shoot at. It's just a turret showing. It's the front plate showing at a very steep angle, and that's all I'm really giving them. And in the meantime, I've put shot after shot into the red team. E-50 is somewhere down below, and poking him out just enough to shoot him. He shoots one into the ground. You can see the shell burst going out. Adrenaline, heat. This one is a bit lucky. I have no idea where I shot him, but we finish him off, and all well and good. We're on 3 kills already, 1 kill for the IS-3, and I can see the Proton moving in with me, so I'm using the ability of the tank to shoot this T-34 once. On the reload, I knew what the gun depression would do. He gets shot by the Proto, and I can shoot him, and this is, yeah, basically thinking on the fly, using your teammates well, because I saw that T-28 Proto moving in. I could have finished that T-34 myself, but I would have suffered at least 1 shot from him. And now it's another matter of gun depression, and this is 1 miss. And here we're going to have another miss and a bounce on from the waffle, and that one goes into, I don't know, the water tower, and another miss. And here is, in my opinion at least, where the experience kicks in. I'm not panicking. I have a stock, very low health IS-3 with me. There is still a T-28 Proto which is full health. So rather than rush in on this Borsig and Waffle, I'm trying to wear them down. I know the Borsig had just fired, so moving past the Waffle, shooting the Borsig once and stopping behind the building and then reversing. And I could have gone YOLO on the Borsig and rammed him and then taken him out, but it would have probably cost me my tracks, maybe given the Waffle even a chance to shoot me. And if I got shot by that Borsig and then the Waffle, 1289 hit points would have pulled me through probably, but maybe not so much to the extent that I would survive the game. I might have even got ammo wrecked, I might have even been treated to an engine fire. And yeah, if I got treated to an engine fire, then 1289, 480 gun on the Waffle, 640 gun on the Borsig. That would have been a very, very dangerous endeavor to take on. So we've been very careful, do 6 kills, almost 4k damage, and a high caliber pulse medal game. Very nice one to put into a video, if I say so myself. And all this rambling and driving and shooting brings us to the last game of the video. T10 game on Mirage. You can see we have 2 very big guns on greens, an FE215B 183 Death Star and a Grill 15. So I'd like to spot the middle. I'm hoping for the TDs to go on the rails so they can use my spots and shoot tanks, and we're not getting any responses, but we're still gonna spot the middle because I really like to see where the red team is going, make the game clear to my teammates, and this is indeed the basic default move I'm doing usually on Mirage. If anybody sees me during one of the Bushka ammo whack contests on Mirage, just aim at the bush, shoot, and you'll have a big chance to kill me. So please tune in on one of the live streams. The first one will be postponed. It will not be Thursday, but probably Saturday because of some private events that I have to attend to. But that said, the other dates are still available. Back here on Mirage, we are shooting this Leopard PTA. I have no idea what he is doing. I'm trying to shoot over the left of the tank, which is in a way a good thing, but that leaves him exposed on a tree line. And I'm thinking quickly here, counting heads, know where the Jaeger is. There are 3 red mediums over here in the middle of the beach area, and yeah, I want to get those out. We have strength in numbers here. There is probably the grill moving up with us. We can shoot this PTA, which is way too aggressive. That's the grill shooting the PTA. We can't finish him off, but we can move in on the E50. We're ignoring the STB, as you can see, low to the ground, driving back, undulating terrain. No need here for gun depression because I'm lower than them, and I'm just simply elevating my gun. And that's a bit situational in terms of driving the T-54. You have to be careful with the gun depression, like said earlier. But if you can manage to get it into positions where you don't have to worry about gun depression, but merely elevate your gun to shoot targets, well, then you're doing a good thing. Trying to track the Jaeger here, but we don't manage to, so we are driving in on the IS-8 first. He's the more mobile target. He is really a danger to our flank, and by driving in like this I can isolate him. You can see it over here, 1 shot into the back, and we can put another shot into him, which unfortunately only causes track damage. And I was hoping the E50 might be able to finish off, but he gets whacked by the IS-8 himself. Nevertheless, the PTA finishes off in the end, and we're on the back of a Jaeger, and if you want to be in one position versus a Jagdpanzer E100 at the back of him. Because if you're at the back of a tank destroyer with a fixed gun, he can't shoot you, and that's a good thing. Running adrenaline, running maxed out DPM on the tank, it is pretty much free damage. But we've also positioned ourselves in a spot to be successful. You can see we've only taken one hit from that IS-8. We've put a few hits into the STB, I think, into the Leopard especially, into the E50, into the IS-8. Now we're putting shots into the E100, and we're hoping to put 1 shot into the E100, but hey ho, gun depression. We still finish him off on this shot, heat through the left side of the turret, and this is the last tip you have to get into your skill set while driving a T-54 or any medium tank for that matter. Use the mobility to get into a position where you can really ram people to death. And this 4.1k ace game finishes off the review. I hope you found this one enjoying and useful, that you can put a few of the things I've shown you into gameplay on the T-54 yourself. Thank you very much for the new patrons for hopping in, for donating to the channel. I hope to see you all on the AmmoWack streams coming up this week. And thanks a lot for all the support. 2.8k subscribers, and we're steadily climbing. Cheers lads, I'll catch you all on the next one. Happy tanking!